Hello, Hannah, and welcome to A Moment With. I am just thrilled to have you here today.
Thanks, Jen. It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah, you've been a friend of mine for a while now, and I know when I first met you and you shared your journey with me, it was something that I actually hadn't heard about before. So I imagine your story will be quite enlightening or new and educational to our listeners today. So I'm super thrilled to have you here sharing with us. So thank you for coming along. Can I ask you, when I said, hey, Hannah, will you come and sit on our podcast and share your own journey? Why did you say yes? Because it is a very vulnerable thing to do.
Yeah, I think for the last few years I have been talking more openly about my mental health journey, and at the start it's so hard, and I think just seeing people's reactions in terms of sharing your story and people being able to relate to it or feeling like they're not alone. And I think it's just really important, like for me, being in a position that I can share it and hopefully help one person or 20 people, I think, is why I'm really happy to do so.
When you were going through your own battles, did you have anyone to turn to I guess, find a sense of connection with or to feel less alone?
No one. I honestly could not find, this was 8.5 years ago. So I guess it wasn't talked about as openly, and, social media wasn't as prevalent, but I searched for anyone that was going through what I was going through or remotely similar to what I was going through, and I could only find horror stories of people that were hospitalized or who had had marriage breakups, and I couldn't find anyone that was thriving and, had got through it. And I think, again, that's why sharing my story now as someone who has come through it and managing this, really serious mental illness, I want people to see that.
And be a voice of hope, which you're definitely going to be today. I want to get to your story. So your journey or your battle, or however you want to describe it, with mental illness wasn't something that started when you were young. It was after the birth of your first child. Can you walk me through your journey?
Yeah, so I was really lucky to have gone through even my teenage years of just no mental health issues other than hormonal and slamming doors every now and again. And then throughout my working life and, right up to becoming pregnant, just, hearing stories of postnatal depression or other people struggling with their mental health. And I can honestly say that I just couldn't relate at all. And I put my hand up to say that I felt like it was us and them, like it was not going to happen to me, and it was only certain types of people who struggled with their mental health. And it's awful to think back on now. And going into having a baby, my husband and I were just such career people. I was going to go back to work after 4 months, back into my HR role, and felt really prepared to have a baby. Went to antenatal classes, and there was not much, but a little bit on postnatal depression. And we were just, that's not us. That's not going to happen to us. So we went into it feeling so prepared.
And excited.
And so excited. And going into even the day before having Alice, I was induced. So it meant like we did know when she was coming. So again, I felt like really prepared. Like I knew pretty much the time she was going to be coming. And went into that birth, and it was a really, really, really awful, horrific birth, which obviously was the first step of things not going to plan how we, I pictured like candles and,
Music.
Water birth, which it wasn't. And very, very quickly after having her, I went into shock. But I think the start of my manic episode actually started kind of a few hours really after having her.